What's happening, everybody? If you thought the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake showdown was the biggest drama in hip-hop history, think again, because the aftershocks from that clash have ignited a whole new battlefield. And at the heart of this brewing conflict is an artist who seems unstoppable. Do I? The question on everyone's mind is simple yet electrifying. Is the rap world ready for her meteoric rise? Or will powerful rivals sabotage her before she reaches the throne? I still remember my reaction the first time I heard DOI's name, another TDE prodigy, but after listening to just a few tracks, I was hooked. She radiates talent and authenticity in every verse, qualities that have earned her alliances with Kendrick Lamar himself, and even whispers of approval from the legendary Lauryn Hill. Yet not everyone's thrilled about her climb to the top, especially Drake and those in his corner. If you're wondering why the biggest names in hip-hop are suddenly on edge, buckle up, because we're about to unpack this explosive saga. Let's backtrack for a moment. A while ago, Kendrick and Drake duked it out, artistically, lyrically, and in the eyes of millions. That battle drew a line in the sand, effectively splitting rap fandom into two camps. On one side, people rallied around Kendrick Lamar's introspective, substance-filled style. On the other, folks sided with Drake's knack for crowd-pleasing hooks and record-breaking streams. At first, it felt like this rivalry might just blow over. Drake continued dropping projects, racking up radio-friendly hits, while Kendrick cranked out critically acclaimed albums that changed the cultural landscape. But real talk, Kendrick's approach triggered a wave of deeper rap, compelling fans to demand more meaning in music. Suddenly, the usual formula of quick viral hit, keep it moving, didn't cut it anymore. In that environment, Drake's brand got tested like never before. Then came a new spark, an emerging rap figure from Top Dog Entertainment, someone Kendrick personally called the hardest rapper out. The moment the name DOI started circulating, the conversation shifted. Were we about to witness rap's next big phenomenon? Or was this hype overshadowing an artist who still had everything to prove? As it turns out, the hype was real. DOI tore through the scene like a comet, fueled by an uncanny mix of lyrical prowess, stage presence, and genuine passion. Here's what she achieved in record time. Grammy for Best Rap Album. Winning this kind of award early on is no small feat. If you recall the uproar on social media, it was intense. Some fans praised her as a once-in-a-generation talent, while critics labeled her an industry plant. Billboard chart dominance. She's clocking multiple entries, some of which climbed higher than even Drake's latest singles. Major cosigns, from Kendrick's personal endorsement to rumors of Lauryn Hill's unofficial stamp of approval, she's been building credibility in circles many artists dream of. Even I had to do a double take. Who is this MC who, out of nowhere, rakes in accolades seasoned vets work years to earn? That's when I realized this isn't hype, it's a legitimate takeover. And whenever someone experiences this kind of lightning-fast success in the hyper-competitive rap game, you can bet the tension is about to boil over. The best part? DOI isn't relying on cheap gimmicks or sensational headlines to stay relevant. She crafts introspective verses, invests in clever visual concepts, and always seems to stay grounded despite the spotlight. For the crowd that's grown weary of surface-level hits, she's a breath of fresh air. But for artists threatened by real artistic competition, she represents a direct challenge to their status. That's where Drake, once comfortably reigning over the mainstream, steps back into the picture. Let's get one thing straight. Drake's no stranger to feuds. He's battled countless opponents over the years, typically emerging with top-tier streaming numbers and unwavering radio play. Still, Kendrick's victory in their widely publicized rift threw a wrench into that unstoppable image. People began seeing Drake's formulaic approach for what it was, effective commercially, but lacking the raw emotional punch Kendrick was delivering. Imagine how frustrating it must be for an artist of Drake's stature to see not just one, but two game-changers come from TDE, Kendrick first, and now DOI, both capturing the cultural pulse. Drake has spent years at the forefront, so he's certainly not about to watch his empire crumble without a fight. That's where the strategic part kicks in. Recently, Drake dropped an album called SSS for You, aiming to reassert his hold on the industry. Some fans liked it, but critics called it hollow, especially when stacked against TDE's bold, authentic sound. From my perspective, the album's collaborations seemed hyper-calculated, almost like Drake was handpicking artists who'd be loyal to his musical style. But one collaboration raised more eyebrows than the rest. Let's talk about the rising female MCs rumored to be a part of Drake's secret plan. Ice Spice. She popped up as a feature on SSS for You. Whispers say she's been harboring a not-so-friendly attitude toward DOI for a while. Alleged direct messages and cryptic socials suggest she's even thrown shade behind the scenes. Some claim she's jealous, others think she's just being strategic, going after the top dog, or top pup in this case, to gain clout. From a distance, it looks like Drake's giving Ice Spice a bigger platform, hoping she'll be the one to dethrone DOI. If that sounds a little conspiracy theory-ish, consider how these alliances typically form in rap. Big names often pull new talent under their wing to wage proxy wars on major threats. Think of it as feudal lords pitting knights against each other to expand territory, except it's happening in our modern rap kingdom. Lotto. She's been vocal in her support for Drake's camp. Whether it's cameo appearances, social media endorsements, or rumored upcoming collabs, Lotto's name keeps popping up whenever people talk about Drake's attempts to shift attention away from TDE. People close to her say she's been itching to one-up DOI since their earlier run-ins, especially now that DOI is overshadowing just about every female MC who dropped in the last few years. Personally, I see Ice Spice and Lotto as artists genuinely talented in their own lanes, yet both appear hungry for bigger pieces of the hip-hop pie. Aligning with Drake, who still wields colossal commercial power, could be their golden ticket to surpass the unstoppable wave known as DOI. The real question is, can they actually rattle someone with TDE's full support, and who's already turned the heads of Kendrick Lamar and Lauryn Hill? Let's not underestimate how far Kendrick's cosign can propel an artist. This is the same Kendrick Lamar who redefined rap lyricism for an entire generation. When he puts his stamp on you, calls you the hardest rapper out right now, people listen. And when your musical approach aligns so perfectly with the ethos he's always championed, it's like a cosmic alignment of artistry and endorsement. And that's not all. The nod from Lauryn Hill carries a mystical weight, especially among hip-hop's older generation and the underground community. It says, in essence, you're not just a random newcomer. You're someone with real depth, someone who can move the culture forward in a meaningful way. Lauryn's approval is notoriously rare, so fans, myself included, took it as a sign that DOI isn't just hype. She's a major force, and that intimidates the living daylights out of anyone who values quick hits over longevity. What truly sets DOI apart, though, is how she responds to all this looming rivalry. Instead of trading cheap shots, she keeps her head down and her creativity up. She's been teasing an official debut album that insiders claim has the potential to solidify her place among the greats. Every new snippet that leaks sends fans into a frenzy, with many predicting it'll raise the bar for female MCs, maybe for the entire rap genre. So here we are, Drake and his newly assembled circle of allies on one side, TDE and their cultural juggernaut on the other. Ice Spice and Lotto appear ready to jump into the ring, hoping to prove they can dethrone a rival who soared far beyond early expectations. Meanwhile, DOI keeps stacking wins, from chart-topping singles to glowing reviews, leaving naysayers scrambling for angles to criticize her. This tension isn't just about who has the catchiest hook or who snags the most streams. It represents something bigger, the clash between two musical ideologies. One side believes in genuine artistry that challenges listeners to think and feel, while the other side emphasizes big commercial appeal and fan-friendly aesthetics. Between you and me, that's why this is so captivating. It's not just about rap music, it's about the identity of an entire culture that thrives on authenticity, storytelling, and self-expression. Will the mainstream, polished approach keep dominating, or will the resurgence of deeper, more potent hip-hop continue to rise? What's more, with each passing week, the rumor mill churns. People speculate about possible diss tracks. The moment any snippet surfaces with perceived subliminal shots, the internet goes wild. Is this aimed at DOI? Are they calling out Drake? The speculation is half the fun and half the stress for the artists involved. I've got a hunch we're on the verge of a bombshell. If Ice Spice or Lotto release a track taking direct shots at DOI, the fuse could be lit. Imagine the social media fallout. Trending hashtags, reaction videos, interview requests, and maybe even a swirl of behind-the-scenes leaks to stoke the fire. It would be catnip for fans who love dissecting every lyric and clue. But remember, TDE is no stranger to lyrical warfare. If a crosshair lands on DOI, folks at TDE might step in, potentially sending heavier hitters to defend the new queen on the block. Think about a cameo from someone like Schoolboy Q or Absol dropping mind-blowing bars in her defense. How insane would that be? That's the kind of high-stakes scenario that propels an artist into legend status or sends the opposition back to the drawing board. Then again, there's a chance TDE will remain above the fray, focusing on their hallmark artistry rather than petty shots. After all, if your music alone can overshadow your detractors, why stoop to their level? It's a gamble either way. Engage the beef and risk blowing it out of proportion, or ignore it and let fans speculate about whether you're ducking the challenge. At this point, you might be wondering, why does this matter so much? Because this isn't just another rap feud. It's a turning point for a culture that's trying to figure out if real lyricism and meaningful storytelling can dominate an era obsessed with quick virality. What DOI and TDE stand for resonates with listeners who crave substance. Meanwhile, Drake, Ice Spice, and Lotto represent an approach that, while arguably more commercial, might appear shallow to fans in search of something deeper. This entire scenario reminds me why I fell in love with hip-hop in the first place. It's not about personal grudges, it's about artistic evolution. And when a new superstar like DOI emerges, with backers like Kendrick Lamar and Lauryn Hill, it feels like we're witnessing the dawn of another wave in rap's ongoing saga. I can't help but wonder, could we see a total changing of the guard? If DOI's official debut album lives up to the massive hype, and let's be real, with TDE's track record, it probably will, there's a real chance she becomes the definitive voice of the next generation. If Drake and his allies can't stifle her momentum, we might be looking at a seismic shift that places authentic, thoughtful rap back on top, across the entire industry. But if Ice Spice and Lotto level up with cutting-edge tracks and prove their artistry can stand toe-to-toe with TDE, the competition could spark some of the best music we've heard in years. Rivalries in hip-hop aren't inherently bad. They often force rappers to innovate and deliver top-tier lyricism. Maybe, just maybe, all this tension will produce classic songs we'll remember decades from now. So where does this all lead us? Right into the heart of a storm that's about to hit hip-hop in a big way. One thing is sure, whichever side triumphs will shape the direction of rap for years to come. If DOI holds her ground, we might see a golden era of thoughtful, message-driven music returning. If Drake's side gains traction, the formulaic approach could remain the dominant commercial force. But I want to hear your take. If you're as hooked on this drama as I am, if you're hyped about the possibility of new diss tracks, heated collaborations, or full-blown rap wars, then drop a comment below. Which side are you rooting for? TDE's fresh brand of authenticity or Drake's strategic wave of big features and massive hits? Don't forget to smash that like button if you found these insights helpful, or just enjoy following every twist and turn of the rap world. And definitely hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next bombshell in what could be the most important hip-hop rivalry we've seen since the original Kendrick versus Drake face-off. Trust me, with every passing week, these artists are setting the stage for one of the biggest showdowns of the decade. You'll want to be first in line when the next track drops or the next shocking piece of evidence surfaces. Until then, stay curious, stay passionate, and keep supporting the kind of music that speaks to you. Rap has always been about forging new paths and challenging the status quo. Right now, with DOI on a skyward climb and Drake plotting in the background, we're witnessing a pivotal moment that might just define the future of the genre. One verse, one freestyle, or one explosive cameo could change everything overnight. So stay locked in, friends, because this story is far from over.